The unemployment rate remained low, job growth was strong, but temporary help services wasn't. And the annual benchmarking process for the jobs data that can change the numbers for several years in arrears produced some interesting surprises. Hello, this is Bruce Steinberg of SteinbergEmploymentResearch.com reviewing January 2020 U.S. employment trends and developments. The unemployment rate remained low at 3.6% in January. However, due to annual adjustments made to the population estimates, month-over-month comparisons are sketchy at best, so we will dispense with them and pick up this discussion next month. Before we tackle the monthly job numbers, it's important to mention that the annual benchmarking process to the jobs data showed that the previously reported monthly non-farm jobs for 2019 were overstated by anywhere from 420,000 to 520,000, averaging an overstatement of around 475,000 per month. In January 2020, the total number of jobs increased 225,000, which was better than the 147,000 job increase in December. A year ago, in January 2019, overall jobs increased by almost 270,000. By the way, because the benchmarking process adjusts these data for several years, year-over-year comparisons are valid. The private goods producing sector was up 32,000 jobs in January compared to a loss of 5,000 in December. A year ago, in January 2019, it was up 75,000. Manufacturing was down 12,000 in January after declining by 5,000 in December. A year ago, in January 2019, it was up by 20,000 jobs. The construction sector was able to nail together another 44,000 jobs in January after adding 11,000 in December. A year ago, in January 2019, it added 20,000 jobs. Mining and logging was flat in January after declining by 11,000 in December and that same amount in November. A year ago, in January 2019, it was up 5,000 jobs. The private service providing sector increased by 174,000 jobs in January, which was better than the 147,000 it added in December. A year ago, in January 2019, it increased by 183,000. The retail trade sector shrank by 8,300 jobs in January after adding almost 45,000 in December. A year ago, in January 2019, it declined by almost 8,000 jobs. The professional and business services sector experienced growth of 21,000 in January, and that was better than the 14,000 it added in December. A year ago, in January 2019, it contracted by 2,000 jobs. The education and health services sector added 72,000 jobs in January, and that was more than 3 times the 22,000 job increase of December. Hiring and home health care services continued by adding almost 5,000 jobs in January, which was better than the 3,200 job increase in December. The leisure and hospitality sector added 36,000 jobs in January, the same amount it added in December. A year ago, in January 2019, it was up 81,000 jobs. The total number of government jobs was up 19,000 in January. The federal government was up 12,000. State government was down 13,000, and local government added 20,000 jobs. Before we get into the January performance of temporary help services, let's review the December figures as first published before the benchmarking process. Temporary help services was first reported for December as 3,043,300, but with the benchmarking, it is now being reported as only 2,951,400, and that is a difference of almost 92,000 jobs, or about 3%. In January 2020, temporary help services was down 1,500 jobs to 2,949,900, or 0.05% from December, and down 0.5% from January 2019. The benchmarking process now shows that temporary help services experienced a down 2019, contracting by 1.3% to just under 3 million jobs. In 2018, it increased 1.7% from 2017. The annual benchmarking process also affected the calculation for temporary help services' share of the jobs market. For example, temporary help services market share in December 2019 was first calculated as just under 2% at 1.9971%, but after the benchmarking, it is 1.9422%. In January 2020, temporary help services market share of all jobs is 1.9384%. A year ago, it was 1.93 0.9748%, and 2 years ago, in January 2018, it was just over 2% at 2.0124%. Although job growth for 2019 was overstated by just under 500,000 jobs, that works out to only about 0.15%. Unemployment remains low, and that, along with other factors, has created an ongoing challenging environment for temporary help services. This has been Bruce Steinberg, and this is just a brief sample of the employment data and analysis we provide.